thin mist flows above the canopy of the lowland forest. For thousands of years, plants and animals have lived in this rainforest. More recently, the forest also became a habitat for people, providing goods and services which support human lives. For the last few decades, this forest has been exploited of near all that it once held. Its timber has been taken by logging companies, remaining land converted to agriculture or converted to timber and oil palm plantation. The changes are seemingly unavoidable. This forest has suffered heavily from degradation and deforestation. These changes have had obvious impacts to the animals, plants and people living inside the remaining forest.
Kalau hutan kita selama ini, Pak, itu kita lebih mewah lagi daripada sekarang. Kalau sekarang kita ngambil jernang baik, kita lah mulai agak susah. Nah, jernang ini penghidupan kita dari nenek moyang, dari urun temurun. Nah, kalau sekarang jernang ini sudah berkurang dan lagi damar berkurang. Karena apa? Pohonnya nggak ada, sudah rusak.
Kalau hutan kita ini masih luas, itu penghasilan di dalam hutan banyak. Nah, macam sekarang nggak ada penghasilan. Yang sawit punya orang, Tugu cuma begawe baik dengan orang. Tugu nggak ada punya sawit.
Yang dulu kita tidak pernah kerja jadi buruh, ya sekarang jadi buruh lah. Kerjanya semraut. Apapun ada kerjaan tawaran jadi angkat, dikerjakan. Yang penting dapat duit.
Rasanya kalau kita nih tanpa hutan nggak bisa hidup. Begitu loh.
Kus, Munche and Butegu are all members of the Batin Sembilan community who are shifting and adapting their way of life now that the forest has become degraded.
Nah, kalau aku maksud aku itu, tentu nak dipulangkan seperti biasa, baca.
The government's policy of ecosystem restoration has allowed, for the first time, land designated as production forest to be managed for restoration. It is hoped that this kind of forest restoration will help to prevent future deforestation and forest degradation in Indonesia.
Indonesia's forests continue to be degraded on a large scale. However, these degraded forests often contain important ecosystems, both for biodiversity conservation as well as for meeting the needs of the local people. To reverse the trend, a new model is required to rehabilitate, conserve, and sustainably use the tropical forest. The management model calls for a logging moratorium and the restoration of the degraded forest ecosystem. Ecosystem restoration concessions, as a new management approach in Indonesia, aim to restore the degraded forests in the landscape so that they are not converted into other uses such as monoculture timber or oil palm plantations. This approach will provide opportunities to maintain landscape connectivity, ensuring the delivery of the ecosystem services. Although it is not a form of a protected area, it is an area-based approach that will strengthen the protected area network. Buruh Indonesia, the BirdLife partner in Indonesia, has been working to develop the Ecosystem Restoration Concession Initiative together with the Indonesian government as well as with the other partners. The approach is relatively new, but it is a promising model for complementing the protected area network, reducing emission from forest degradation and deforestation, developing sustainable local livelihood, and offering a new approach in managing Indonesia's forests.
So this is a Harapan rainforest in the middle of Sumatra, close to the Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. The Harapan rainforest covering two provinces, which is in South Sumatra and Jambi province. As you know that Harapan rainforest is very rich of biodiversity. Harapan rainforest has 307 of bird species, which is one of them is endangered. 64 mammals, including 20 Sumatran tigers and Sumatran elephant, 56 species of reptiles, and 446 plant species and other species.
Hutan Harapan has been doing to restore the forest areas to its original include areas protection, boundary demarcation, and technical aspects such as conservation of the native species. We're also working with the local communities to do the community participation as well as negotiation and partnership with the people, especially people living within the forest.
Community involvement in restoring the remaining lowland forest has become a key factor in ecosystem restoration efforts.
Jadi sekarang ini kami berguyur istilahnya nyemaikan kayu untuk nanam, untuk memperbaiki hutan. Ya, ternyata inilah hasilnya yang telah diperbuat oleh masyarakat di sini.
With the non-forest product action, we're trying to do our best. Because from the production forest itself is only 5%, and in fact 95% is taken from non-product